Do you feel like growing up not being understood? Not being heard, not being your parents' favorite child. Working your hardest to excel in life so that someday you would be able to stand on your own feet and leave this family. Do you feel lonely when people tell you that you're just being dramatic? Your family will always love you and be your strongest shield. As time goes by, you stop bringing up your family because it's not something people want to hear. People sometimes perceive us to be pessimists, but we are actually more optimistic than most people because we have to. We work our ass off to make life less miserable. I remember when I was a kid, I said this to myself in bed one night. Sleeping is the best time of the day because it's the only time that I'm not criticized. Growing up, I was always teased by my siblings for being fat and stupid. By always, I mean starting from kindergarten. You know, when you were a kid, you took everything seriously, especially adults' words. Whenever I feel sad or mad after those teasing, my mom would tell me to stop being emotional. It's because I was weak that I was teased. Of course, my siblings were never punished for being mean. I gradually became afraid of making mistakes and suppressed most of my feelings. I spent lots of time alone thinking over the problems in life and cheering myself up in an attempt to heal myself. Even if you can't change the past, you can always change the future. This is the mindset that not only got me through my childhood and teenage years, but also many difficult moments in life. Whenever you're stuck in a moment by obstacles, such as toxic family, financial difficulties, or academics, always picture the future you belong to. What kind of person you want to share your life with. What kind of person you have to be to get to those people. When you focus too much on the present, the wound, the bleeding, it could be frustrating because it may not be something you're powerful enough to change. You can't change your parents when you rely on them for basic needs. You don't argue with your parents because they will always win. Instead, I focused on the job I wanted to do in the future and studied extremely hard to go for it. It's the only way for me to get the hell out of the situation. I need the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Remember, every problem is a double-edged sword. No bad situation is entirely bad. Though we had a rough start, this could also give us the internal motivation that's stronger than anyone else. If you can move away from your family and be independent, of course that would be the perfect way to reset your life and create boundaries. But what if you can't? Some of you may still be stuck under the same roof with your family, and some don't even have your own bedroom as a hideout. It wasn't until 16 that I had my own bedroom. For a couple of years, I slept on the floor next to my parents' bed. But not having a personal space doesn't mean you can't create happiness. Reading and drawing were my mental getaway that made my world a million times bigger. When I was in primary school, I was so obsessed with biographical comics that I finished every single one I could find on the shelf. Back then, I didn't put much thought into it, but now I think I get her. Reading through the lives of those famous figures, you feel less miserable. They had more struggles than you do, much bigger struggles. And they succeeded. Your life is nothing compared to them. Although you only have one life to live, reading shows you the lives of a million others. Next, create your positive space.
I don't even have my own space in the house.
Cheer up, you're not alone. The only place I could call it my space was my desk. Then start with the desk. Words from those I look up to, inspiring quotes, motivational lyrics, they were all over my desk. It doesn't have to be an apartment makeover or room makeover to get that vibe. It could be your desk, your bedpost, your wardrobe. To thrive despite your toxic parents, we have to develop a very positive and objective mindset that allows us to see the other side of the coin. Whenever your parents project their feelings on you, you know that nothing should be taken personal. It's just a typical day and typical way of expressing themselves. Seeing how mean they are reminds you to be kind and what type of person you don't want to be in the future. Whenever I felt hurt, I told myself to clearly remember every bit of the pain and never, ever do the same thing to someone else. In the meantime, you have to be very practical. You deserve a new life, but you need an action plan to get there. It could be going to university or renting a place. Self-pity won't help, but knowledge, skills, and money will.